And my husband Kirk and I own Casa Grandview. We have historic luxury rentals. We have in suites, rooms, and also cottages, which we rent to the traveling public. We've been doing this now for 10 years. Our inn this month celebrates its 5th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we're happy about that.
Now, this place has a lot of history. You were telling me about how you moved the houses here and everything that it took to put this together, because this just didn't happen. This wasn't here and you went, oh, I think I'll buy that place.
No, the houses were moved here to this site, actually by one of Kirk's clients. And anyone who'd like to read the complete history can go on the Casa Grandview website, which is casagrandview.com, and they can actually look at the history. So the first owners who acquired the houses purchased them for $1 each and moved them at a cost of $50,000 each to this location. They were clients of Kirk's. When they had finished their work, they sold it to another client of Kirk's and his partner, and the renovation began. That's when the two homes were joined together after the move. Massive moves did the move, and that you can still find that online on YouTube.
It just amazes me how they can move a whole house. Coming from Ocean City, I saw that happen frequently. I knew there was a lot into it, but
it's absolutely phenomenal. Recently, another home was moved to the neighborhood, another massive move. Then it was floated down the Intercoastal Waterway. So it's very interesting. And Grandview Heights is one of the neighborhoods, not only with the designation for a B&B to be permitted, but it probably has 5 homes that have been moved from nearby neighborhoods to save them.
Well, Grandview Heights is just really kind of a neat little pocket. I mean, there's a lot of nice areas in West Palm, but I love how they make them look even more historic than they might be by the different signage and things. It really does the place up, and you feel like you're driving back into this whole other area.
It's a really unique neighborhood, and the people who live in it put their heart and soul into their home ownership. This neighborhood is unique also in that it has so many urban planners who live in it. So, they're into historic preservation, and they don't make bad marriages, when they do renovations.
Yeah.
And it's really, the neighborhood is now recovering from, the downturn.
Yeah.
So we're back on the way up, and there's so much going on in the neighborhood now, so much new construction and the like. And we're so happy that we're right in the middle of it all.
Well, you certainly are. And talk about a walking city. I did not know that. Now, it was, and I want to compare it to Charleston and the fact that it's that kind of a layout. You walk around, and actually there's more to do here. It's really going into downtown and then taking the trolleys, and the trolleys are free. And it was just, there's so much going on, so much life, and it seems very local oriented.
It is. The head of our downtown development agency lives in the neighborhood, and he is an avid cyclist. And so he brought sky bikes to our downtown.
Yeah.
And we have bikes that we give to our all of our guests that are complimentary. We even have a tandem bike, which you can view in our video. The new sky bikes can be picked up in several locations around the city. So if you're walking and you get tired, you can go ahead and rent a bike for just as long as you want it, and then turn it in at the next stop. And that just makes moving around so much simpler. You can actually walk to City Place faster than you can drive in the car, because you don't have to deal with where to park the car and that sort of thing. And
from here, it was a straight line, too. I went right up Florida Avenue across the street, and I was there. And when we drove it, we had to drive around and come back around and come in. So it was actually easier to walk. And then it's just, and City Place is pretty big. And it just reminds me of, it doesn't look like your normal inner city at all. It's just like set up for tourism or for life.
Well, our downtown, between the downtown development, our mayor and even our previous mayor had the vision that has brought us to where we are today. And then the Discover Palm Beach has done an incredible job, along with the Chamber of Commerce, to attract tourism to our area. And why not? West Palm Beach does not have a beach, as you know. but we have a beautiful waterfront, perfect for riding bikes, jogging, people watching, sitting on the seawall, watching, the world go by. University students are out there studying. It's just a great mix of people. And I would say it's multi-generational.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't ever go to the downtown, the waterfront area, the green markets, any of those places that you go, you're going to see people of all ages from all over the world.
Yeah, and interacting.
Interacting.
It's a very
but
harmonious.
without the congestion of our neighbors to the south.
Yeah.
Those cities are a little bit too congested.
Yeah, and you get that feeling, and it becomes more of a rush. This was like laid back, and there's so many places to sit. There's tables set up. There's just lovely areas, and the water, like you said, the water's so tranquil, and it just is a lovely atmosphere. And see, this is one thing I like, and we're here talking about your city. Okay, we're in your lovely.
We love West Palm Beach. We love it, and we love being out in it. Everything is so close at hand. Whether you need something from the outlet mall, the Palm Beach outlets are not even 2 miles from us. If you want a great restaurant, you can either dine on the West Palm side, or you can cross the bridge to the Palm Beach side. There you have beach. There you have really, world-class restaurants. Or it could be just as simple as walking down Worth Avenue and going back into the little villas. It's like a step back in time, and you feel as if you're someplace else. You don't even, I think it's the same when you drive into Casa Grandview.
Yes.
People drive in and they are in awe.
Yeah.
They can't believe that this is right here in the middle of this residential neighborhood. And you've
done a wonderful job, and it's been a labor of love. I can see that. People don't invest this kind of time and money in something just because it's a business. No. They do it because they love what they do, they love where they are, and they love their life.
We do, and our adult children are involved in the business. I think you've seen Tyler several times.
Tyler's been around.
They're so proud of what we've done. Our daughter Heather, when she's here, participates in things. And when she's not, she's moved to Louisiana recently. But we still talk about things, or I'll send her pictures of what we're doing and get her comments, be it a paint color for a building or a purchase for the interior, because you like to have the perspective of people from different age groups. So we have 2 sons and a daughter, and they're all different ages, and they bring us great ideas and we act on them. Kirk and I have always been receptive to new ideas, and our guests, Dennis, to be honest, our guests have helped us build the place by we didn't build it from scratch, obviously, but telling us what worked for them in their accommodation. Just like when you checked in, you came over, you had comments and thoughts to share, and we listen, we take those to heart. So it's not rocket science.
No. Well, a lot of people forget that it's about listening.
Yes.
And it's the same thing in the food industry. You listen to what your guests are telling you, and that's the recipe for success. That and enjoying what you do. If you don't like what you do, you're never going to be truly successful, because success isn't just measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in life quality.
This is true.
And you provide that. So when you come here, it's not just about the dollars, that it's about the experience.
Yes, for us it is. And that experience, when you walk out the door, doesn't mean it's over. Because quite often guests leave things behind. So we're back in touch with them again. Or maybe they write a nice review of the place, and we want to acknowledge that, that they took their time to help us reach other people. And meeting you has been so great for us. The other day, the tips you gave us about social media were so meaningful, and then talking about food and little things right down to the spiralizer. That was one of your shows, I think, and we're excited to be in contact with you and to follow you now.
Well, again, I like doing these because I make friends everywhere I go. And business, again, is you do business with people you like, but it's not just about business. It's about these friendships, these contacts that you make. And you get to see people from all over the world that come here and stay with you. They can be as close as Fort Lauderdale, like the girls that were here that just got married.
Yes.
Or they can be from the UK. I just talked to a lovely couple that has relocated here, but they just come from all over the world.
Yes.
enjoy the beauty and the atmosphere you provide. Now let's talk a little bit about, I came here because of Superior Small Lodging. They were kind enough to introduce us, but you're also part of the Select Registry.
We are.
Which is 300. Oh, there's Raleigh. Say hi, Raleigh.
Raleigh.
And there's Kirk. Say hi, Kirk.
Say hello, Kirk.
Hi, Kirk. And Raleigh is a great therapy dog, and he's been there every day with us to make us happy.
Off
He's
to
a
work
big-
you go.
Yep. Raleigh's got to go earn his keep. And Kirk, too. Thank you, sir, very much. But the part of the Select Registry, tell us a little bit about that, because that's not just something you just say, here, I want to join.
It's true. It's very meaningful to us to have been invited to join Select Registry. We are new to them. They approached us a few years ago, and we didn't feel that we were ready or worthy, because there's been a lot of work on this property, and you see,
Yeah.
when you're
Ongoing.
here, you see it's ongoing. We try to keep it intrusive insofar as the guests go, but a lot of things just continue because all the money we make goes back into it. So Select Registry, out of over 20,000 inns, there are a little over 300 Select Registry inns in the country. So it's a real honor. They do a very in-depth inspection visit. You don't know who the inspectors are, and it's about a 200-point inspection. So they're looking for things. They want to know everything. You know, if you could think of Inspector Clouseau, they're doing this quietly behind the scenes, and then later they share the report with you. We love being inspected. We voluntarily are inspected by Superior Small
Right.
Lodging and award-winning property with their Donald DeWoody Award.
And they're not easy to pass either.
They're not easy to pass either. They've gotten more and more professional in their inspection process. It's a little bit more stringent than it used to be, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It keeps us on our toes, and it helps us because sometimes we might miss seeing something. I know when I go away to a conference and I come back to the property, first of all, I'm all supercharged from being in the conference and hearing all the dynamic ideas. But when I get back to the property, I take a hard look at it, and I'm seeing things that maybe I didn't see prior to leaving and going away. So that's helpful between that and the guest input. But Select Registry Inns, if you become a member of Select, and I think we encouraged you to go online and do that, or Superior Small Lodging, you're going to find properties that have been inspected and that have a standard.
Yes.
So you can pretty much expect you're going to get a really good breakfast, a really nice bed with super linens.
Well, it's the attention to detail. Like I've stayed in, and I always look for more flavorful or authentic places to stay at. I mean, you can always find a big chain to stay at. You know it's going to be comfortable. You know it's going to be clean. But that's all it's going to be. It's not going to have any character.
Right.
And if you're traveling and you want to stay someplace with some character, with some flavor, you want to talk to the owners. And these places are pretty much all family owned.
Yes.
And
we own all of our rentals.
Yeah.
They're owned and managed by us. We have a lot of people who support the effort, from our lawn lady to our environmental service to our roofer or our insurance company. I mean, all of these people play such an integral part of Casa Grandview and make it what it is. Kirk and I can't say it's about us. It's about our love for the place. We're the caregivers, if you will.
that's
And
a good term for it. Yeah.
we feel blessed to do it. And then when people like yourselves come in and they ask us questions and they care about how this all happened, it's like a big pat on the back, and everyone loves praise and recognition.
Well,
There's nothing better.
Something like this doesn't just happen. I mean, I walked in here. I mean, from the outside, it was just amazing. And then when we walked into the building, it was like, damn, everywhere we looked, it's like, wow.
Well, thanks for saying that.
But I mean, just the
We're glad.
the
We're happy to hear it.
architecture alone. But again, attention to detail. And that's what you don't get in a lot of places. I mean, they may be really nice, and we stayed in some lovely bed and breakfasts, and they were run very well. But it's the actual attention to detail that places, things like Select Registry and Superior Small Lodging,
Yes.
encourage you
Mm-hmm.
to make, and they keep you on your toes.
Yes.
So you want to do it.
And by being members of those organizations, other organizations like the Florida Bed and Breakfast Inns, if you're a Superior Small Lodging property, if you're AAA 4 Diamond property the way we are, then you automatically can qualify for, say, their boutique collection. Whereas if you don't have those designations, they're going to have to come out and inspect and see how do you operate, you know?
So I forgot about that too, your 4 Diamond award.
We are.
And I think you said the only reason you weren't a 5 Diamond because you didn't want to tear out your beautiful hardwood floors and put carpeting.
It's very interesting. There's one 5 Diamond in the US, in California.
Oh.
All you have to do is Google that to find it. And I've asked AAA and my inspector, why can't I aspire to be 5? And I do aspire to be 5. I did get their criteria, but I won't do it if I have to sacrifice something on the property.
Yeah.
To me, if something has a pristine terrazzo floor, which are very expensive to build these days, why would you want to cover it with carpet?
No.
I think travelers want clean. I don't think they want
No.
carpets that heaven knows how many people have tread over.
Yeah, God knows
or a pet
what.
has been in or something like that. We have a few pet-friendly accommodations.
I saw that too.
And we're pretty careful about what kind of pets come in. We love pets, as you know. We have 2 dogs, Lucy and Raleigh, but we can't take cats. We tried that and it didn't work out because of dander.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't love cats, but we do have a place right down the street that boards animals. So if someone was traveling with their cat and they wanted to put the cat there for a night or 2, they could. And it's a nice, clean, safe place, nice environment. I mean, we would take our dogs there for grooming and that sort of thing. So if they're not a pet friendly, we really can't accept pets in it other than a bona fide service dog.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, that's understandable, really, because you've, again, put a lot of care into this. And it's not so much that you don't like them, you just can't ruin the experience for the other people who are going to stay here.
It's not about us. It's about the people who have severe allergies to
I'm one of them
pets.
for cats. You know,
Mhm.
dogs don't bother me, but cats will close my eyes.
Exactly.
You know, it's like,
Or some people develop hives. You never know what they're going to. So you don't want, that's not something you want to fool around with. We're very careful, even in our cleaning of our accommodations. We use a lot of steam. And people raise their eyebrows, and we get calls from people wanting to sell us chemicals. And we're like, sorry, we don't use that. It's much easier to steam a bathroom and steam your floors and know that everything's clean for the next guest. Because each guest, when they come in, they want the fantasy of feeling that there's never been anyone there before them. They want it all to be for them.
Just built for them.
And think about it, when I travel, I walk in and the first thing I think is, the shower curtain liner's missing. I'm going to have to call. The light bulb is out. You know, there's a lot of detail in a room. But if you stay on top of it, or if you respond the minute a guest asks.
Well, I noticed too that you have some very good employees.
We don't really have employees.
Well, I was going to say family members.
I wish we had employees. We have a lot of family and, as you've seen, extended friends who work for food.
Yes.
So occasionally we'll buy them dinner if they'll let us. But they do it because they love us and they love our place, and that's really wonderful. Our son works in the business as well as having his own business, which is IT related. And then all of our contractors who come in. So we have independent contractors who also work other places, but they like hanging out here.
I can see why.
Here doesn't feel so much like work. And then we use outside people as well. People like Hewlett Environmental, luxury maids. We can call up and have a team come over and clean houses for us, and then we can take care of the details after they've left. So at peak periods, that's what we have to do. We have to use the help of our plumbers, 2 plumbing companies, 2 electrical contracting companies, because you never know when you're going to have an emergency. 2 AC companies.
Gotta have a backup
Two
plan.
pool companies.
Yeah, and you have 2 pools too, which are quite lovely.
Thank you.
And I noticed we were in the main pool the other day, and you have a swimming lap machine.
That's Kirk's, and that's his toy.
Yeah.
He uses it for therapy, for his swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're really nice and you talk to Kirk, he'll share it with you.
That's good.
But that is a toy that he has, if you will. It's one of the bells and whistles of building a custom pool. I think you probably saw the waterfall out there.
Yeah, and that one's a saltwater pool.
It is, yes.
That was so nice. And when I walked into it, it got deep in the middle, and I stopped going, oh my God, how deep is the deep end?
It's a competition pool.
That's what Kirk explained to us.
Right.
So that made a lot of sense.
Exactly. So our last pool that we built in our home of 25 years was deep in the middle, and the kids could put up a volleyball net and have a game of volleyball. And so that's why the pool is that way. And then, of course, we have the swim out benches and things like that,
So nice.
which are nice. Now, that's the bed and breakfast pool. And then our pool in the back is for vacation rentals.
Right.
And as you can attest to, the pool areas are not used very much.
No.
People are busy.
Yeah. And we went back to, I think it was the first night we got here, or Friday night. I don't remember which one now, but we went out in the pool at night, and the stars were out, and I'm floating in the water looking at the stars,
Mhm.
and the pool changes colors.
Thanks for noticing.
Oh, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the palms going, look at all the different kind of palm trees. I haven't seen that before. What kind is that? And we're fascinated by the palm trees, because you have
Yes.
how many different kinds of palms here?
I think we're up to 23 varieties of palms on the property. The property, as you know, takes up just about this entire block
Yeah.
from street to street. And then our Art Deco suites are across the street, and there are 5 of those. And then you've noticed we're working on our Charleston property. So we're getting that ready to rent. New roof, new tin roof on the main house, new stucco on the rear. We're so happy our city and our historic preservation department helped us with that. They allowed us to return the building to what it once was, which is mission style. It's a 2-story mission, but it was covered in
Oh, I remember you telling me.
clapboard siding.
Yeah.
It just was sort of odd looking. And so the vinyl is now gone. In a week, we'll start prepping the finish, and then we'll move to paint colors. So we're very excited. Work on the insides getting done. And after that, we'll be ready to offer it.
It's just, there's so much work involved. People can't appreciate how much you have to do to get a property to that level of excellence.
Again, it's your love for what you're doing,
No, it
as
has
you
to be.
said.
Has to be.
If you're really loving something, it's not work.
No.
I don't look at my watch and say, oh gosh, it's 8:00 and we haven't had dinner. I don't. I think of everything we accomplished that day.
Yeah.
And Kirk will come home quite often. I've already sent Kirk pictures, our daughter Heather pictures. Tyler's here, so he knows what's going on. And then he'll walk the property with me. We just take the dogs and we go for a walk. And I always have my cell phone handy to put in my OneNotes anything that might need attention. But Kirk comes home and he just gets such a big kick out of seeing what has happened.
Yeah.
And
To a person just walking by, they may not notice, but you know what went into that because you were there for every step
Yes.
of it. It just didn't, you didn't just wave a little wand and it happened.
oh, I wish.
Oh yeah, I know. But I mean, just like the stucco, it takes time. You can't just put it up. You have to let it set. You have to let it, just get ready for the next layer of everything going on. And it's a process. And if you rush that process, that a lot of people do, it's going to turn out pretty crappy. So
We can't do that because we hired the best stucco company on the island to do the work. That's what our inspector told us.
well, good.
And we were happy to know we made a wise choice. But he has briefed us on what has to be done and how we must do it to protect it and preserve it, to keep it from cracking, that sort of thing. So there's a lot that goes into it. Today we're having our flooring company is coming to sand some floors. We're excited about that because we're going to return them to their natural finish and they're going to be beautiful.
And the floors here are just
They're pretty.
outrageous.
And this house is 1925. The other house is 1919, and the center connecting room was done about 15 years ago, but they used wood that now would be 60 years old.
Wow.
To do that floor. And you see there's a difference in the elevations of the two homes. because they're two different forms
Yeah.
of architecture. Oh, we have a visitor coming.
Is that Lucy?
Hi, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
Hi.
Oh, he's a
Thanks
sweet
for
girl.
coming in.
He's a sweet girl.
Come here. Come on.
Oh, and here is the
There's
other.
Lucy. Lucy is our mascot.
Lucy is a little
And,
sweet baby.
We just got another reservation
Because of
Lucy.
Lucy?
Yes, because Cavalier lovers like to come when they're not traveling with their pups. They like to come to a place where they can.
Well, she
She
is a
does.
sweetheart, and Raleigh is too. But and I can tell she's the leader because I was watching them sleep, and Lucy opened the gate, and then Raleigh came out.
Yes.
Raleigh wasn't going to open it, but
Raleigh's very well behaved. Lucy, not so much. I mean, Lucy does pretty much what she pleases.
well, look at that
Yeah.
face. How could you not?
I know.
She's
I know.
so sweet. But you know, again, it's everything you put into this house, just with the breakfasts and how you service. And we come away from breakfast stuffed, which is, but it's a lovely stuff. And see, if we can't get enough, would you like more? Oh, the juice, the coffee, the parfaits, the fresh fruit every morning. What would you like for breakfast? Not this is what we're having. What would you like? It's like it's just.
Kirk was adamant about breakfast, and we did a survey of our past guests who stayed in the cottages. Told them we were opening an inn. What kind of breakfast would they like to see if they came to the inn? And hands down, they wanted a healthy breakfast. So we cook healthy. We use good eggs, vegetarian fed eggs. We are in tune to paleo diets, which our daughter practices. And she's a healthcare professional.
Oh, those pastries.
The pastries are done by a local bakery who's a client of Kirk's.
Oh,
Do them for us every day. We pick up. Pastries are sitting because we prepay and have an arrangement with them. And that way you get to have a little taste of our area, because Latin piece and Latin foods is really prevalent in this area.
Yeah.
South to Miami area. And then of course, your choice of fresh fruit each
Yes.
day or your parfait, as you say, and that can be customized to your liking. If someone's gluten-free, we make sure we have gluten-free granola on hand, Whole Foods, which is nearby at the
Yes.
outlet mall. Very nice for us to have that. And I think I mentioned they also do a green market there
Yeah. Oh,
on Tuesday from 4 to 8. In
And the
addition to our green markets.
yeah, that was the green market
Yes.
in town was just fabulous. It
Well,
was,
you went to both, right? You did the West Palm Beach Green Market,
Mhm.
and then yesterday I think you went to Old Northwood
Yes,
for their
Yes.
farmers market,
That was
which is
lovely.
something new they're doing.
Yeah.
And I live vicariously through my guests, so I was happy to hear you did that.
yeah. This,
Sometimes we can't get there.
it's the shoemaker has children never have shoes kind of a thing. You're so busy tending to our needs that you don't care about as yours is because, and that's
True.
an amazing way to live too, is to worry about your guests. I mean, that's the same thing with me in cooking.
Mhm.
I never ate myself, but I wanted to make sure everyone else around me ate.
Well, I think you see what I have a shake in the morning, because if I ate what I fed people,
I know. I'm going back to my fruit starting that, but when I'm out in a place like this, I'm certainly not going to refuse anything.
well,
I'm
you
gonna
need
enjoy
to
it.
try the cuisine. I think it's important, and the fact that you can have what you want.
Yeah.
I think that makes the experience more personalized. So, for instance, if you like eggs and we offer you a custom omelet or a
Mhm.
fresh veggie scramble or something of that nature, or maybe you like sweet items, French toast, Belgian waffles, pancakes with fruit, whatever it is, if we have it on hand, we'll make it. And if I don't have it today, I'll have it tomorrow
Yeah.
for you.
And your
That's the
kitchen
way we
is,
operate.
I love your
It's
kitchen.
Really a great place to cook.
It's a nice
Yes,
space.
it is.
And then we enjoyed just hanging out in there with you too. It was just such a fun space
And
to be in.
meeting the other people on the
Yeah.
property. Oftentimes we get comments, people say, are we the only people on the property? And it feels that way,
It
doesn't it?
does sometimes.
And yet we're pretty full.
Yeah.
And the reason is the same reason you don't see your neighbors. We're situated in a residential setting, and we've been very careful not to violate that, because we want to be good neighbors in our community. So we're sort of tucked away and hidden, as you know.
Yeah.
We don't put up a lot of signage. We don't need to, because word of mouth is what has made us, what we are today. It really has. When people leave and they say, my parents would love this, my friends would love this, they go back and they maybe they're an educator and they put it on the school website.
Mhm.
This is a great place to go and visit. Check out their summer special or something of that nature. So we continue to meet people who are referred by past guests. And
That's always the best.
if we make our past guests happy, why wouldn't they refer us?
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you again. We're going to be heading off in a little while, but I wanted to make sure I got to talk to you, and thank you so much for your
Thank you.
hospitality.
Great guests. We loved having you.
We love
Fun
being
visiting.
here, and we will definitely be back, and we will
Good.
send our friends,
Good.
and I can't wait to write a post about this place.
Oh,
'cause
thank you.
It was just,
That's meaningful.
and it looks like the sun's coming out, so we're going to have some good weather now too.
Yes.
It's been so much fun exploring. I love Florida. I love seeing different parts of it. I love meeting people from all over, making new friends everywhere I go. It's just such a nice way to live.
It is.
You know, and
It is.
in your business, you get to meet people all the time, different people, and just make new friends. And what could be better than sharing what you love with your friends?
There's nothing better.
Well,
Nothing.
thank you.
As I said earlier, praise and recognition are what we live for.
Yeah.
We really, when we get a TripAdvisor review or a Google review, we gather everyone around and read it, and there's a lot of high five going on.
Good. And so that's a lesson to you, you know. And I never left them for a long time, but now everywhere I go, I leave a TripAdvisor review.
That's
Because-
really nice of you to do.
You know, well, you know, they've gone out of their way to treat me as a guest, you know, and I've enjoyed what they've done for me, food, even just like City Place. I reviewed City Place because it was lovely.
It is.
You know, so
It's fun.
you don't understand that, and then people rely on other regular people to tell them what's good. Because when I came into this area, other than you, I didn't know anything. So I went to TripAdvisor and I saw what they reviewed and what people had said.
Mhm.
You filter through it because some people are just angry. You know, that's just the way they are. And you see what's good and what you might like. But it's important. So go out and leave TripAdvisor reviews wherever you stay or whatever you do, and help your friends. But thank you again so much.
Thank you. We appreciated having you with us.
Oh,
It's
I
been a
loved it.
pleasure.
I loved it and can't wait to come back down here. So we're going to say goodbye.
Say bye, Lucy. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Can you wave? Say bye-bye.
Thanks again for coming, and I will see you all real soon.